Welcome to the Alliance Connection, a podcast by the Greater Fort Dodge Growth Alliance. Each week, we bring you insights on business, economic development, and community growth in the Greater Fort Dodge region. Our focus is to drive progress, support local businesses, and enhance the quality of life in our area. Good morning. Welcome to the Alliance Connection, the podcast by the Greater Fort Dodge Growth Alliance. I am Astra Ferris, CEO of the Growth Alliance.
And I'm Katie Grobe, Marketing Specialist at the Growth Alliance.
So today is an exciting day because we have some ladies here. We've got Vickie and Paige, and we're talking all things housing. Right, ladies?
Right. Yes. Good morning.
Good morning. So there's a lot of exciting happenings with housing. I know that if you've been reading the Messenger or checking things out online, there's a lot of movement in housing in this region lately. But before we dive into that, we've got a lot of cool events coming up, right, Katie?
So we have a ribbon cutting coming up with Diamond Mobile Detailing.
Wow.
Yeah, and that one's going to be at our office on today.
Yay. And that one's cool because if you don't have to go somewhere, they can come to you and clean your car.
Yeah, Javion comes, he gets your car, he cleans it right there in the parking lot and takes care of it all for you. It's amazing.
I love that.
Because who needs more appointments where they have to drive to?
I don't. So yeah, come check that out. So there's also November 20th, we have our Meet and Eat, which that is a member fee, and then non-members, it's a little more. However, it's open to the public, and our Lieutenant Governor, Chris Cornor, is coming to that at Iowa Central.
Yes.
So that'll be cool.
Should be a good time. Come have lunch with us. Yeah. Ask all your, questions.
Iowa questions. We'll also have Nikki Conrad and David Reeck, so from City and County, up there as well on the panel. So it's always fun, too, to see, okay, what's this latest thing with this road work, or what's this happening in the county? So a good place to, find out and be in the know.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Is that all we have coming up?
I think so.
Anything else, folks can go in the show notes and check out, there's probably a link to our community calendar, and just to make sure that you are staying up to date on all the happenings the Growth Alliance has and our members. But we're going to get right into housing. Yay! I love housing, and you guys know this because we are actually a thriving community, right?
We are a thriving community.
Okay, so I get real excited, as you can tell about us, doing the thriving community, 1 in 5 in Iowa that got it. But, can we maybe tell some of our listeners why this is important for Fort Dodge, why we had the thriving communities?
It's important because the state recognizes that we're going above and beyond to try and recruit developers to bring housing to Fort Dodge and the community. They offer additional points on certain programs that they can apply for. So it's a great program where developers can come in and almost be assured that they're going to get some funding.
Nice.
It also shows the state and the community how everybody partners here in Fort Dodge. The city partners with employers, we partner with Growth Alliance, and now we're partnering with developers as they're being awarded these housing credits.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Because it's a pretty competitive market, right? Whenever they're out there, these developers trying to get some of these housing projects, it's pretty competitive, right?
Yeah, very competitive,
very competitive.
Yes. So that's nice that we have that designation.
Yes.
Recently, we were awarded almost $2 million in workforce housing tax credits. That's really cool. For those that may not know what that means, what does that all mean to folks?
So workforce housing tax credits are awarded by the Iowa Economic Development Authority.
Okay.
And it's for new or rehabilitation of housing units in a community. And for Fort Dodge, we're considered a small community in this particular grant. You never know with the grants if we're a small community or a large community, but this one we're a small community. And so the developer can get up to 20% of the project cost up to on the first $150,000 of investment per unit.
Wow.
And then there's a limit of $1 million per project.
Okay.
So it's a very good program, really helps build that capital stack for the developers and makes it, worthwhile.
Yeah.
Nice.
And for 2 developers to be awarded for the city of Fort Dodge is a rarity. It's not the norm. And so we were really excited that 2 different developers were awarded those credits.
And so those specific to developers, let's talk about that, because I've had a lot of people, whenever I'm like, oh my gosh, we're so excited we got this, they're like, wait a second, where is this located? Because really the city put a lot of infrastructure and work into this space to really remediate the blight that was there. And now we're going to have new housing there. Can you guys kind of touch on some of that in that area?
Sure. 3rd Avenue Northwest, which is the area where Happy Development is going to build. The city purchased several homes and dilapidated buildings along there to make room for the widened or the realigned 3rd Avenue Northwest.
Okay.
It was more to kind of correct that corner where you turn for Elanco.
Okay.
It kind of had a curve plus a grade change and was not very safe. And so the city took it upon themselves to do that. And as part of that, we had to purchase some houses. Some of them were moved, actually, so we saved them.
Nice.
And then it left this developable site. So, we were excited to offer that to a developer to build some new housing.
Nice. And that's Happy Development, right?
That's Happy
Development. Yes.
Okay. That's exciting. And they've got some playscape areas and some green space areas over there. So that should look really nice do we know how many units that's going to have?
They're going to put in 24 workforce housing units.
Wow.
And they plan for 40 affordable units.
Okay.
And they're going to have a row home type feel. So
that's
it'll
really
look like a
neat.
row home in the front, and all the parking will be in the back with a privacy fence. So it will look very, very nice from the road. One of the things that is happening up there with that housing project is there is a $1.5 million grant that the city has received to revitalize that area.
Okay.
We'll be doing home remodeling, or not really remodeling, I guess, improvements to up to 12 homes up there, which is all exterior repair.
Wow.
We're doing some street work up there, some utility work. We're adding trails. We're adding streetscape, seating, plantings. So now when you enter, a long time ago when you entered Fort Dodge, there was a lot of dilapidated houses. Now it's just open green space.
Yeah.
In the next 2 years, it's going to be a complete transformation.
Wow.
It's going to be really neat.
That's so cool. I can't wait to see how that's going to take shape.
Yeah.
Me too. I love a good row house.
Yeah. And the ones by City Hall are really pretty cool too.
Yeah.
So
Those are awesome.
And then that's going to happen. So really the public can anticipate that being done within the next, how long? 24 months, you think?
I would think so. They have 3 years to use their workforce housing tax credits, and so they were awarded this fall.
Yeah.
So, they'll have to be done probably by the end of construction season in 27.
Nice. Wow, that's going to be coming right along.
Yeah.
Yes.
Before we know it.
Yes.
And then the other workforce housing tax credits, they were awarded to Talon, right?
Yeah, it's District 29.
Okay. I think a lot of people are like, who is that? Where is that? So District 29.
Yeah.
I always feel like you hear that place has got a waiting list. I mean, many of our houses that are affordable housing has a wait list. And so whenever we talk about community and economic development, having housing, adequate housing for people, that's what employers want to know is, if we expand or we have the workers, other places for folks to live. So that's exciting that District 29 is going to do another phase.
Yes.
Do we know what that's going to look like or how that will take shape on that side of town?
So they're going to build an additional 49 units, townhome units this
Wow.
time. So
Nice.
those will be nice. For those people that aren't quite ready to purchase a house, but are maybe moving to town for a new job and, want to see where exactly they might want to land permanently in the city. It's a great option for them.
Yeah, District 29 was one of the places we checked out when we were going to move here, but they had a waiting list that was too long, and we were on a time crunch, so
Yeah. Well, and they've found that their 3-bedroom, 2-car garage homes are highly sought after, and they don't stay empty. So I think that they're going to fill up very quickly.
Nice.
gotta get my name on that one.
I know. And speaking of housing needs, I mean, can you guys speak to that? I know at this page with what you do at the city, you're doing all things housing all the time. What do you think? What is the housing need in your opinion for the community?
Well, the housing study that was just completed for Webster and Webster County and Fort Dodge showed that there was at least 226 housing units needed. I think that when we talk to employers, when we even talk to people on the street, there's no place for them to rent. And there probably are places to rent, but they want upscale. They want new. They want new appliances, new countertops. They want garages a lot of times. Workforce housing is designed for young professionals. It's designed for teachers, for construction workers, those that maybe can't put it all together yet for a house purchase, but they still want quality, affordable housing. Nice. And so this is perfect for them. And that's who we want to attract to our community, because we want their kids in our schools, and we want them to be invested in our community, members. So, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And I know that the row homes by City Hall, they're full as well.
Yes.
And have a waiting list.
Yes.
So I think a lot of times the public doesn't realize that we've done a lot of efforts over the last few years, but we're still in, like you said, great need of housing.
Yes.
Wow. Nice. Tell me a little bit about the some of the redevelopment that you talked about for the houses that are over by the Northwest River District, and how that's going to be a rehab. How do folks find out more about that?
Well, the funds can only go to those people who are within a specific area. We call it the Northwest River District, because we had to apply for a specific tract of land and so many houses. Owner-occupied houses that fall within the correct income guidelines can qualify for exterior repairs. So they could get a roof, they could get windows, siding, they could get sidewalk repair, driveways repair, a variety of things like that. This grant also pays for lead identification and remediation, and
radon.
They check for radon, and then they'll set up, if it's found, then they'll set a removal system in for that. I don't know what it's called. Remediation too?
Yeah, it's a radon mitigation system.
Okay.
Yes, I have one.
Nice.
I think that we'll find it in several houses up there. It's really common in Iowa, and it can be really dangerous.
Yeah.
So when we're hoping to do at least 12 houses up there, and depending on what the needs are for people, then we can go beyond that if we have funds left over. But they do have to meet a certain income criteria. It does have to be owner-occupied, and it does have to be within that area.
Okay. That's good to know.
Yeah. No, we're really excited about it. We already have 12 applicants.
Oh, wow.
So
that's
that
awesome.
took about 5 minutes to get that many people.
Oh, my goodness. That's excellent.
Yeah. Now we have to go through an entire qualification process with not only like the income and such, but also we'll have to perform inspections on the homes.
Wow.
And because these are federal funds, so they're a little more, there's a few more hoops to jump through with federal programs. So we're used to those, so we don't see those as hurdles.
Okay. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
I think the one thing to note with all of this that's going on in the Northwest River District, you have got to be patient. I mean, in 2023, we applied for a grant to write a plan for the Northwest River District, and were awarded. That allowed us to apply for these $1.5 million in funds to implement the plan, which we got in 25, which we're now starting to implement towards the end of 25.
Right.
We applied for the Thriving Communities and received that in 24.
Yeah.
So there's so many pieces that are moving at the same time, and it seems like we're doing nothing, and then it all comes together.
They're like, when's this going to happen? It's like, it's like a duck paddling underwater, and there's so much movement happening. It's exciting whenever we can break ground, but you're absolutely right, Vickie. There's so much happening.
The culmination will come to fruition in 26.
Yeah.
What's interesting is we just had a citywide meeting.
Okay.
And at that meeting, we showed like a before overhead aerial of the area.
Okay.
And then we showed today, and just that slight transformation was really interesting. So once all those homes are in place and all the improvements are up there, I think it's going to make a huge difference, especially for somebody that hasn't driven into town that way for a few years.
Oh, boy.
They're going to come through and go, what happened?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
it's
that's
going to be really
exciting.
neat.
Hey guys,
Thanks for listening. Here's a quick word from our sponsors.
This podcast is produced by Spin Market and Digital. Located in Fort Dodge, Iowa, Spin Market's highly skilled team can help you increase your market by updating your website, improving SEO, designing advertisements, and producing podcasts that will grab the attention of your market. Contact Spin Market today for all your digital marketing needs at digitalagent@spinmarket.com or call us at 515-302-8026. And to learn more, visit our website at www.spinmarket.com. That's digitalagent@spinmarket.com or 515-302-8026. Or visit our website at www.spinmarket.com.
So what roles do the partnerships between the city, county, and the Growth Alliance, how do they impact the work that you guys are doing?
Partnerships between all of us are very important. The city, they have to have some buy-in with the potential of possibly land, with tax abatement, with getting their zoning correct for developers to come in. Developers are going to make the big investment by making that financial investment. Mm-hmm. Growth Alliance supports us through economic development and community development initiatives. In other words, our developers showcase that we had.
Oh, that was fun.
Our hometown tour that we had, making sure that our name is out there and people know what we have. And then we also have that state component of partnership. If the state wasn't there to provide those funds and those incentives for the developer, we would not see development. It's just too costly.
Yeah. And I do want to mention too, the developer showcase, that was really cool that we, I think Katie, that was right whenever you started, right?
Like
was that your first marketing project?
Third week, and I was like, I know nothing about housing. Let's put some documents together.
Put some things together.
But we worked all together and we got it. And
Director Durham came.
Yeah.
And all of those developers, some who had never been here before. And I think that was neat that we all just came together and we had city and county and private partners all together to say, hey, take a look at our region, take a look at us. And, we really would like to attract investment here. And it's working. Those efforts are actually working. And so I think also, if you haven't seen some of the social media, I think the Growth Alliance shared it, the city shared it, maybe county as well, on the Kading Properties site visit. And Jefferson and his team, they put that together, did an amazing job with just all of our partners. But, I think they went, Kading Properties, they're out of Des Moines, went to like 5 communities every year. And they're really interested in us. And I feel like just putting our best foot forward and really showcasing, taking them on tours, showcasing all the businesses, the schools. Where are these people? It's not just about the house, but what's the quality of place? Mm-hmm. And having a concerted effort and, leading that through the Growth Alliance has been such a fun and what a blessing to get to do that and share how many cool things that we have for folks. And I think that's just one more thing to tip that private investment to, hopefully choose us. Yeah. So we'll see.
I think they even said, we can't believe how you all work together, your city, the county, the Growth Alliance, to, showcase Fort Dodge. And I think we made a pretty good impression on them.
Yeah,
I think so too.
I would agree.
And I think that Debbie Durham was impressed with our developer showcase, wasn't it? Didn't she say that it was one of the first ones that she had seen in Iowa?
In Iowa, yeah.
I mean, what a compliment,
right?
To have
That's
her
crazy.
think that was so cool, and it was really something unique.
Yeah, I agree. So just continuing to do those things and just set ourselves apart from others is always what we're always trying to think of. What's the next thing that we can highlight or share so that we can, because we know that we're not the Des Moines of the world. We know we're not the Kansas Cities of the world. We've got to do things extra so we can get those developers to really, just invest here because we are more that rural market, I think, for some. Iowa Central's been a great partner too with their housing. Vickie, you chair our housing committee at the Growth Alliance. Do you want to speak about some of the cool things they've been doing up over in Williams Bend?
Sure. So they're partnering with the City of Fort Dodge and the Fort Dodge Betterment Foundation and are purchasing lots on 24th Avenue North, which is the new housing subdivision out there. And they're going to build one house per year for 5 years. They are on their third house right now.
Nice.
And it's a great partnership because the kids get to go out there and work on a brand new house.
Yeah.
If they do something wrong, they just take it out and redo it.
Right.
And so it's been a great partnership. And along with that partnership, I'll just, give a little history. The Fort Dodge Betterment Foundation and the City of Fort Dodge partnered to purchase that 60 acres of farm ground because we needed some developable land for housing. And then the city put up the money to put up 24th Avenue North in, and the collected taxes or the tax increment financing that's coming in from those houses pays the city back for the construction of
infrastructure.
that. Yeah, infrastructure. Okay. Yeah, so you got to invest money to make money.
This is true.
I always say you got to spend
money to make money.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's been a great partnership, and Iowa Central was just the icing on the cake, I think.
Yes. And I know the other side of that, because we always have questions of folks that say, well, what about the other side, which that's Williams Ridge? And I think that's, we're hoping to attract, through the housing committee, we're looking at new efforts, and that committee, just so much and so many intelligent folks that are working together to say, what are other communities doing and how do we incentivize developers to come in with maybe that little larger footprint of a single family home, maybe not as large custom as some of our neighborhoods in town, but we do want to make sure that we have a good mix of lots of different types of housing for folks that are coming in. So that'll be exciting to see how that takes shape as well.
Very exciting. And not only for people coming in, I think there's a group of people that would move up if there was an opportunity, which then opens up some of the starter homes and some of the less expensive homes for maybe that, younger couple coming in.
Yeah. Just open our housing stock up. That's great.
Yeah. So what message does this send to the businesses or families considering Fort Dodge as their home?
I think the message that it sends to businesses and to even people that are considering to make Fort Dodge their home is that the city's invested. Actually, it's not just the city. It's a whole group of people that are invested. A lot of times employers stumble on securing an employee because we don't have housing available for them.
So true.
And so if we can make housing available, we can have those employees live in our community. They don't necessarily want to commute. They want to live here. They want to be close to all the amenities with everything that's going on at the Corridor Plaza and all the new businesses that are coming. We have to have housing for these folks.
Yeah.
What it tells to those people that are moving here is we want you to be part of our community.
Yeah.
We want you to go to our kids, your kids to our schools. We want you to join our civic organizations, and we want you to be a part of Fort Dodge. It makes for safer neighborhoods when there's neighbors and communities together. And so it's just a promotion of everything, I feel like.
I love that. And I think, too, not just the housing and like you're talking about Corridor Plaza, but also the partnerships with Webster County Conservation and Cosgrove's projects and making sure that we have all of these trails. I don't think people realize the impact and the money that it takes money to make money, but that's really that quality of place, and people want to get outside and be connected on the trails. And I think, that's exciting too, to see that some of that infrastructure. You talked a little bit about how there's going to be trails by Hoppy Development over by Elanco, the Northwest River District. Tell us about those trails. Where are those going to be connected? And tell us more about that.
So that will just be along 3rd Avenue Northwest.
Okay.
And on the east end, it'll tie into I think it's called the Finney Park Trail that goes past Amigos and then goes back up towards Central Avenue and just does the whole loop around the city. So
nice.
Yeah, it'll be a great connection for that neighborhood.
That's awesome. I love that you can just hop on a bike or just get on a trail and be everywhere. I love that.
I feel like you would never know how many trails there are until you're like in there walking on them, riding your bike. You're like, holy cow, this is really, it's a long trail and they're kind of connected everywhere. It's crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah, there's over, I don't know what the exact number is now, but there used to be over 35 miles of trails in Fort Dodge.
Right.
So
I know once they get all of the connections, I mean, I think I've heard this be said that it will be the 4th largest trail system once we get those connections. Maybe when it connects to Humboldt, or there's a connection that Mr. Cosgrove's talked about. I'm wondering if that's the one that's going to make us the 4th largest in the state of Iowa, which is really cool to be. That'd be great.
And I feel like the trails are on like a very scenic path a lot of the way. Like you're not just riding your bike down the middle of some random street. Like you've got the river and you've got all the greenery and all the fun stuff.
Yeah. It's really cool.
And that's another thing people look for when they're moving to a community.
Yeah.
Is there recreation for my family and I to do? And that's a good selling point as well.
Yeah. So I know we talked a little bit about timeline for housing, but what would you guys love to see? We're just going to dream big. What would you love to see in housing in the next, let's say, 5 years?
I would like to see a lot of single family homes produced.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think we've had a lot of developers come in with multifamily housing available, which we
need.
still need.
Yep, we do.
Still need. But I would like to see some single family housing being built. I'd like to see some be more geared towards workforce, and I would like some high end too. Just like Vickie said, we need to have those homes that people are ready to move into when they're ready to step up to a higher payment, a higher price, and have some of those other homes open up where it's affordable for single people or young couples starting out. That's what I'd like to see. What would you like to see, Vickie?
That's what I'd like to see too.
Awesome.
We would love to see
Shared
that.
goals there. I love that.
Just construction in general.
Yeah.
Makes me excited.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is exciting. And I think there's a lot of opportunities too. I know Iowa Central with their the past golf course, they've got that they're hoping to develop. There is a lot of places that developers could go for that single family home too.
Yeah. And I feel like when we had Debbie Durham on the podcast, she talked about how her and her husband are getting close to retiring and they don't want their big family house.
Yeah.
And so it'd be nice to have those upscale kind of single family housing so that we have a place for those people to go.
Yeah. That's true. Because we want to retain everybody in our community at whatever phase of life you're in.
Absolutely.
It's awesome. Anything else that you guys would like to add about housing? It's so exciting. I mean, kind of
Exciting.
Yeah. Any other things we want to touch on?
I think we're just fortunate that Fort Dodge right now has gotten so much interest, and I'm going to give credit to the Thriving Communities because that got our name out there. And since we were a designated Thriving Community, we've had so many more developers, contact us to say, hey, we're interested in maybe doing something in Fort Dodge.
Yeah.
So,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That was fun. We were part of the pitch, and I remember that day was a little nerve-wracking. So for those of you that don't know, that was a competitive process.
Very competitive.
We had a whole team of folks that came. We all partnered together and went in and said, this is why we should be a thriving community. And it was super cool to be a part of that. But I loved Mayor Bemrick's from surviving to thriving. I think that's how he ended our pitch. And I was like, and they talked about how they loved that. So from surviving to thriving. So now look at us, right?
Yep. And we did all those extra little things, like we brought cupcakes with Fort Dodge on them, and we wore matching shirts and
It said, love your city.
Love Your City.
Yes, I love that.
So I think those little touches, just kind of put us over the top.
Well, and I think that everybody that participated too, it wasn't just City and Growth Alliance, it was employers. I mean, it just felt like there was a whole
Schools and-
unified group really trying to make sure that we had housing available for people.
Yeah, I agree. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if there's nothing else to add, I want to thank you ladies for coming on to talk about all things housing, because we get a lot of questions, especially as, there's more things in the messenger and there's more buzz about social media about housing and workforce tax credits and what does this all mean? So thank you so much for coming on and just really giving us all of the scoop on housing and being part of it, because it takes a team and we appreciate you guys.
Yeah. Well, thanks for having us.
Yes, thanks for having us.
All right. So please do not forget to like, subscribe, and share this podcast. We also have links in the show notes, so make sure that you guys check those out. And we would not, we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about how beautiful our flowers are. Every time. They're gorgeous every time.
Every single time.
This one has sunflowers in it. I love sunflowers.
And where did they get them? Because sunflowers are out of season at this point.
Yeah, well, they've got
their ways, man.
So thank you to our flower sponsor. We could not do it without Becker Florist, and we appreciate them as well. So yeah, just signing off. Every connection strengthens our community, and every conversation sparks new opportunities. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Alliance Connection.
Follow the Greater Fort Dodge Growth Alliance online and on social media. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode.
I'm Astra.
I'm Katie.
And we'll see you next time.